Every once in a while, the game theater gets a visitor. Not a player, not a curious friend, but someone extra special. And this is one of those visits. At the back of my studio, behind this door, is something special. A space where stories aren't just told, they're lived. Welcome to Pernicky Ricks, the ultimate guide to crafting spaces that don't just tell stories, they immerse you in them. So many of you who have been watching the channel for a while now know that I'm a longtime Harn fan. You probably also know that the game theater itself is deeply inspired by HârnWorld material, and that I have recently begun contributing a little bit of writing to the official HârnWorld releases. Last summer we had a very special visitor, Grant Dalgliesh, the steward of Columbia Games. He came for a visit, and we had a great time. He took a full tour of the game theater. He admired Joel's and my renditions of Richard Luschek's artwork on the walls and ceiling. He tried out my GM station. He poked around in just about every hidden corner and nook of the room. He even met Gil, who must have been pretty starstruck because he was eerily silent the entire time. Afterwards, we talked Harn. Then we talked some more. Then we talked even more. We talked until Allison's arms grew tired from holding the camera. And what follows are some highlights from that conversation. It was very impromptu, so it may be a little rough here and there, but I think it's important content nonetheless. I hope you enjoy it. Harn was first published in 1983 by N. Robin Crosby through Columbia Games, beginning with the Harn Regional Module, which provided an overview of the setting along with the Harn decks and a detailed map. The line later expanded into HârnWorld and a wide range of supplements covering kingdoms, cities, religion, guilds, magic, and adventures, establishing Harn as a notably detailed medieval fantasy setting. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video and I'll provide you a link where you can get your own free digital copy of this beautiful Harn map. The back includes information enough to whet your appetite and perhaps point you in a direction to start if you're so inclined. The map there you're looking at, that is a Portland map that I created of Harn and the bit of the Shorekind coast.
Yep, yeah.
And so I force our captain, who's Radimus, the Shekbavar,
okay,
to navigate the ship using this.
Yeah, good. And Pilot's Almanac concepts and stuff?
Yeah.
You know, Pilot's Almanac is the first kind of contribution that I had to Harn.
Okay.
1987, and I was 12, maybe 11 still. My birthday's in October, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. But a friend of mine, Joel Burslam, and we were 12 or 11, and we were tasked by my father to generate the example ships that ended up being in the book. Right? They were generated by us using the mechanics of rolling them up, and then I suppose we probably cooked it a little bit. I don't remember, but I do remember that was the start of loving it, and I never looked back. You know?
Right.
I mean, it's been an incredible run, and
well,
I see that it's not over. It seems like it's expanding somewhat geometrically or exponentially. The number of people is one part of it. Of course, you know, I'd love to see more people exposed to Harn, but you know, in truth, what's actually kind of cooler is the passion of the few, right? And,
I understand.
And so I actually focus in the business on relationships, right? And like we have Harn Quest, the concept of the subscription that we have, and those folks are the most valuable folks in the universe to me. They make my living,
right,
and I appreciate them so tremendously. So kind of really do try to think about that as the priorities. How do I make my core supporters who have been essential happiest? And I think it's a thing that when you focus on that, you get that longevity. It's amazing to me how the original ideas can still hold up. And in a parallel that just fits really perfect for today. We were at Gen Con this year, Gimon,
Mm-hmm.
your debut,
Mm-hmm.
was the big release.
Right.
And so I had it there where we had all the books and also the latest Harn Quest with Gimon in it. And I would tell people that this is how we do this. We publish every 3 months more stuff and more castles and more things. But Gimon here it is on the map. I'll show them that and I'll say, here it is on the big map. I'll point at it in this square, right? And that grid square and that hex. And I'll tell them that 40 years ago, we knew that Gimon was there.
Right.
We knew who held it. We knew its acreage. We knew a few things, but not everything. And now we're adding to it, but it's a cardinal rule that we fit it within what was said before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that also causes people's jaws to drop because they just...
Well, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's easy to miss things.
Yeah. It's gotten a little easier with searchable PDFs and things.
Yes.
Dan Bell, I imagine you remember Dan, who was one of the first canon checkers in the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've always had this. We've always had this, internal editors and things. But he was a volunteer who contributed by, well, he wrote things as well.
Right.
Specifically, he kind of carved out a niche as a canon checker.
Okay.
And it was very, very valuable.
Yes.
Helped us avoid some big pitfalls. I'm sure of it. But I remember how he did it. It was by hand. It was absolutely by hand. And
I don't even know how that would be possible.
no, I'm sure he had some files and some searching and stuff, but it was before all of that. It was like really readily available on a, like now you can literally search an entire folder, right, of files and effectively search the whole library in one step.
Yes.
But yeah, he did it the hard way. And but that also pioneered how necessary it was. And we do think about that a little bit also in how when we write new stuff that we try not to stick something in there that'll screw us later.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't completely do that.
No.
Or you'd be pigeonholed into nothing interesting.
One of my players, John, who plays John, the bastard son of the Baron of Gibbon.
Oh, of course. Now it all comes together.
He is very religious, and he decided to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
So he took the campaign in a direction I was absolutely not expecting nor prepared for.
Right. But it is, in fact, the beauty of all this material is that you look something up and be inspired and go with it.
Over 150 official supplements have been published to expand the setting, including kingdom modules, city books, bestiaries, magic supplements, and historical and cultural source books. Taken together, the HârnWorld setting and its supplements contain well over 1 million words of written material across core books, expansions, and encyclopedic entries. Most of our campaigns are all the villains are human.
Yep.
Monsters you rarely see.
Yep.
They're kind of
special.
They're special, and like medieval man, some of them believe they exist. Most of them will live their lives and never see anything.
Precisely. Yeah. And
the best villains are always people.
The best villains are always people. Oh yeah. And then that whole thing with the Shekvar, for example, the renegade, that concept, that's another device if you think about it, right? Like the entire concept of the regulations, the code of the Shekvar, it's part of the lore of Harn. It's absolutely integral and it fits very well. But it's also a game master's device, right? So that you can essentially tone back the players so that they probably won't cast a fireball in the street.
Well, that's why Radimus, the captain of the Savacanor's race, he's Shekvar. He has an apprentice, Tam, and they are outwardly pilots.
You gotta have a cover story.
Yes, they have a cover story.
Yeah.
They are not outwardly Shekvar.
Yeah, well, because that's not a job, right? I mean,
At
least not one that you can get paid for and have people respect. Human history is, if there's a witch, we're going to burn her. Right? And so that's really that's how I kind of allegorize it.
Yes.
And, but again, it's both a concept that's integral to the world and it makes it feel believable and plausible and all that. But then it's also a tool for the players. So somehow there's a magical chord been struck there between the realism and the usability, and
it's done really well.
That
it has been for years.
That wasn't easy, that part, though, because I still have probably the biggest challenge I have when I first expose Harn to someone, or they become exposed to it through some method. There's a what do I do with it?
Right.
Because it's so big, it can be intimidating, and you might not know where to start. I always tell people, just start. Just pick a city, pick something.
Pick a city. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to counter canon information. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, roll with it.
It's all right. Yeah,
it's all right. And the experience will be worth it.
And after 5 years, your players will forget it even happened anyway, if it's that important.
If not by 5 minutes.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And this, to me, this room and your applied usage of this product that we created is the pinnacle of its purpose.
Well, thank you.
Partly because it's beautiful. I mean, 90% maybe in that sense, because that's the truly unique part. There are a number of other fantastic groups out there in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
But that you put the two together.
It was easier to do because it's so complete.
You're right. If you had to invent it from scratch, you wouldn't have the inspiration.
The ceiling is the zodiac. The frescoes.
Landis.
The frescoes are
scenes from HârnWorld.
Scenes from
Yeah. And you just couldn't invent all that stuff.
Well, you could, but it wouldn't have the same feel.
Yeah. You invent it in isolation, perhaps, this or that, but to put it all together, it's taken all these years and all this manpower to make it all happen. But like I said, this is just so cool to see it applied, like brought to life.
It's probably kind of surreal.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I could be in Gimon here right now, right?
HârnQuest is a periodical published by Columbia Games and is typically released 4 times per year, expanding the source material by roughly 128 pages annually. Because Harn publications have been established for decades, a substantial body of fan-produced material exists outside the official books, and much of it compiled into encyclopedias and location modules that rival official publications in both volume and detail. I would like to thank Grant for taking time out of his busy schedule to stop by for a visit. We truly enjoyed it. And I would like to thank you as well for joining me today. If you're curious about HârnWorld, I invite you to check it out on Columbia Games' website linked below. And if you decide to make the leap and join the rest of us Harn fans, you'll find the community welcoming and knowledgeable. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on future episodes. Your support helps this channel grow and keeps the ideas flowing. Useful links and credits can be found in the show notes below. Until next time, keep dreaming big, and may your stories always have the spaces they deserve.